Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for taking the time to join me today for our measuring student learning objectives with our web test objective overview report. Today, you can see I'm logged into my instructor gradebook right here. And to review and set up some of our student learning objectives, we're going to go under the reports tab first. And if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, we're going to see the web test objective report. Under the web test objective report, you can select on create and manage web test objectives. From here, you can click on create new objective template. And we can click on create new objective. For here, this is where we can start putting in some of our student learning objectives that we want to measure. So for the objective I'm going to be measuring on the web test I created earlier is going to be addition. You can also put in a little description here. You can just put in adding whole numbers, for example. Down below, you'll want to select the tests where you want to begin measuring these student learning objectives. If you have multiple tests, you can select multiple tests. I just have one test here, so I'm going to select my Chapter 1 quiz. And down below, you can select the questions that are going to measure these student learning objectives on your Chapter 1 quiz, for example. You're going to click on the list questions for selected tests, and you're going to see that my test questions are going to be displayed here. If you need to, you can click on this click here button in the far right column to see which question this question 1 is, for example. So we can see that this is an example of question 1. And we're going to choose that one as addition or adding whole numbers to measure it for my student learning objectives. This one also is part of the addition, and this one is as well. So we'll select these 3, and we'll click on save and create another objective. Now that our objectives have been saved, we can come back out here. I'm actually going to go back to web test objective template, and we can see that we have this addition right here. So I'm going to actually first name this my Math 100 Learning Objectives, and I'll click Save Changes. Perfect. So now that we have our template set up and we're going to have our student learning objectives that we're going to measure through the web test objective report, I'm going to go back out into the reports tab and we can start analyzing what we just created. So if I scroll down to the bottom, again, I'm going to go back into the web test objective report, and I'm going to click on view report. We can first look for our template. So our template is going to be the Math 100 learning objectives that we created on the last screen. You can input a mastery level for the objective. So if students have to answer maybe 80% of the question or 80% on that objective, and that will be meeting that for the mastery level. I'm actually going to keep it at the 100% for right now. We can also choose a specific section if we wanted to. You can look up specific students if you want to look at and see if individual students are meeting those learning objectives. You can also choose a specific test, and we can see that we have my Chapter 1 quiz right here. Once you have all these settings set up, you can simply click on the Analyze button. And we can see that this student, myself, the student has met these objectives because he answered these 3 questions correct and got that 100% for each question. The student got one incorrect, you would see a 0 here, and that percentage would be 0%. So you know that the student did not meet that learning objective. You can also create multiple learning objectives. You can run this report using multiple learning objectives at the same time. So this tool can really be beneficial for helping you and your students understanding how they're doing on those student learning objectives throughout the semester. Thank you guys for taking the time to join me today to take a quick look into the web test objective report. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out to your training support representative for additional questions on these reporting features. But I'm also going to stick around for a few minutes and see if I can answer any questions for you guys.